Hi, it's me, it's TiffanyDIRA. We are still talking about initiation. Best book ever. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the 4 levels of manifestation in physicality and what these 4 levels look like. And it's actually, there are 7 octaves of vibration, but that the 4 levels they manifest themselves in 4 different levels. So the first one is going to be in physical matter, which is going to be rocks and things of really, really lowest, densest vibration, which is the earth, like the rocks, basically. And then the second one is going to be plants. And then the third one is going to be animals. And then the fourth one is going to be man. Now, the thing about man that is super exciting is that man is actually able to manifest itself on 3 higher vibrations other than just man, which is why we are so exciting and why we are at the forefront of creation and at the forefront of consciousness and how we've been created. So the way I understand this, and it's explained really well in the book, and I'm just going to explain it to you the way that I understood it, but that each one of those things carries in it a chakra, which is really just an energy center that allows for the processing of a certain vibration of light. So if we understand that everything is vibration and everything has a resonant vibration, whether it's higher or lower, and that these energy centers called chakras are able to process these vibrations of light. Now, within these levels of manifestation, you are only ever able to process one level higher than what you are. Otherwise, you'll just you just cannot handle that level of vibration because you don't possess the energy centers in order to process a vibration that is on that level, that octave. So you think about rocks. Rocks are going to be red spectrum vibration. They are the root chakra. They are literally the root chakra, the earth, and physicality and the densest form, and red spectrum vibration is the slowest and lowest and most dense form. So rocks can also process, if they become conscious, they can also process 1 octave higher, which is going to be heart. Heart is going to be the bridge between your physicality and non-physicality, which is God. At the top, the heart is the bridge. It's in the center because there are 7 chakras, and the heart is the bridge in the center. So rocks, think about the rocks that are able to process. I bet you can guess it. They're one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. Crystals! Yay! So we have these rocks, which are now going to be, like we talked about in the earlier video, they're going to be opaque, and through compression, they are able to process a different spectrum of light. So those rocks actually carry within them the consciousness of the heart. So they are able to process both vibrations. Not all rocks are, but those rocks are able to. So you can actually process one step higher than the next. So the next, we're going to have plants. Plants carry, obviously, a root chakra, red spectrum, because they're physical. And then they also carry heart spectrum because they are connected to nature. They are able to be connected to one another and communicate with one another. So plants possess that spectrum as well. Green and red, heart and root. Now, plants, because they are also able to process one spectrum higher than what they are also able to process orange spectrum vibration, which is going to be the sex chakra. Now, this is how some plants reproduce and cross-pollinate, because the sex chakra is all about reproduction and it's about emotions and feelings. So plants also have feelings, some of them, and they are, depending on their level of consciousness, they are able to express in different ways. So not all plants have flowers, but flowers are a beautiful example of how a plant is more conscious and able to express on a higher level. Next, we have animals. So the animals carry the root because they are physical. They also carry the heart because they are connected to each other. They're able to communicate. They are like part of that life ecosystem that plants are, as well as animals. And then they also possess the sex chakras. So they have an orange spectrum vibration that they can process, and they can have like, they make babies, they are emotional, they are definitely like perceptive, and they are able to communicate on, they know when you're emotional, they are, yeah. So the next vibration that they are able to process for some of them is going to be yellow spectrum vibration. And this yellow spectrum vibration means it is ego and solar plexus, but it means that they can have personalities and they can sort of have somewhat of an identity, that they can connect to you as a person because of your identity. So you see all of the videos of the people that look like their dogs or their cats, and they start representing the beings that they are around through they identify with those beings. So this is also why we have the rise of Cancer in animals and dogs rising so much, because with the influx of Cancer within human beings, dogs are then connected on this yellow spectrum vibration, and they are mimicking and identifying with their human companions. Okay, so next we get to man. So man is at the highest of awareness and consciousness on this earth plane right now. And we have root chakra, we have sex chakra, we have heart chakra, and we have yellow spectrum vibration. So yellow spectrum is our identity. It's our ego. It's who we think we are. It is all of our attributes of personality. It's all of those things. So we are the only ones that actually have a solar plexus chakra. These other beings that are on the other manifestations that are on lower, they don't actually have these chakras, but they are able to process those lights through their other chakras because they're only able to withstand that vibration that is 1 octave higher than their own. So we have man. Now, the special thing about man, which is really, really exciting, is that we are actually able to process not only 1 octave, but 3 octaves higher. So we have the ability to process blue spectrum light, which is from our throat. We have the ability to process purple spectrum or indigo, which is ajna, and then crown, which is violet. Now, in this book, the reason why I understood all of this is because it talks about the 4 material manifestations. So in the material world, there are 4 levels of manifestation, which we call matter, vegetable life, animal life, and human life, depending on the outward appearance and the degree of consciousness attained. Compared with the human being, we can hardly speak at all of the consciousness of matter, and yet a crystal may serve to show that matter too has a sort of consciousness. Each level of manifestation of life is characterized by its own degree of consciousness, which is 1 octave removed from the next. Only man has the power to manifest several degrees of consciousness all the way up to the divine level. If we keep in mind the intervals, octaves, by which we classify levels of evolution, we find that man as a category occupies 4 steps of the great ladder of evolution, reaching from earth up to heaven. Furthermore, we see that each step corresponds to 1 octave on the scale of vibrations. Man knows about these 4 steps or degrees and has given them names. First, ego, or solar plexus, yellow spectrum. Man, characterized by his intellect. Second is going to be the blue spectrum, throat chakra. Genius, characterized by his intuition. No. Sorry. I'm messing these all up. Shoot. Scrap all that. Solar plexus is man. That's the name that we associate with that egoic. And then blue spectrum is genius, characterized by his intellect. Next spectrum is going to be ajna, characterized by the intuition. We call this the prophet, right? So prophetic word, we can see beyond the veil. We have a connection to our soul. Connection, this is our first step, connecting to God. Then characterized by his wisdom and universal love, which is crown, that of the God-man. So that is when we are in connection with God from crown. So the exciting thing about this is that man is the only being on earth that contains all 7 chakras, and that we are able to process higher and higher and higher bandwidths of light. So the idea is that we get to a point where we are able to expand and hold higher energies of light through each one of these chakras, which is our progression all the way up to crown. Now, who knows what happens with crown when we get to crown? Who knows what happens when the collective actually gets through crown, because the collective is also doing a process, moving through each one of these spectrums, expanding, being able to hold higher and higher frequencies of light, and being able to eventually be in communion and connection with God on the earthly plane. So let's see what this is explaining to us in this book about initiation, which is what I have learned. Initiation is the journey. It's the journey and the process in which we are integrating and expanding our own abilities to be able to hold the frequencies of divine, of God within our bodies, because our bodies right now have not really been equipped to hold that level of frequency and that amount of light. So this is what I've been doing for the last 4 years, doing my levels with Dira, which is super exciting. And I realized this is what the Pharaohs did. And every time you talk about initiation, we actually are talking about the process and the experiences in which you live and have these moments and awakenings of that are allowing your being to be expanded further. Now, the beautiful thing about Dira is that we go through a 7-level process where divine is expanding each one of our chakras, and eventually we will be able to withstand that large amount of light, which is exciting. So let's see what it says. During initiation, the candidate's body is subjected to a higher frequency than that which corresponds to his degree of consciousness. Thus, he becomes conscious on this higher level. Only a person prepared through long and strict training can be initiated in this way into a higher power, into a higher level of consciousness without suffering any harm. Only such a person is able to control his body with the help of his intellect, understanding, and willpower, and attune his nerves to higher frequencies. So it is saying that animals can't do this, plants can't do this, rocks can't do this, only human beings can do this. But basically, if we didn't do this and we tried to process the amount of light that is divine coming through us without this expansion of bandwidth, we'd basically like spontaneously combust. We would just be like, and that's what they talk about, nerve damages and like strokes and stuff with people who receive really high influxes of energy that they are not able to, that they're not prepared to process. So it's part of the reason why we do fasting when we're starting a level. It's part of the reason why we do cleanses and we do things that prepare our bodies in order to be able to withstand the next level energy of light. So right now I'm doing level 6 and I'm just about to start my level 7. And I can definitely tell you that the amount of light in which I am able to process and hold within my body right now, had I tried or had I been subjected to doing that when I was only in a level 1, it would have been very uncomfortable. I don't even know if you would be able to do it. It would be, your whole body would be contracting in resistance because you would have so much that you're like pushing against this flow of divine energy that you wouldn't be able to just allow it to come through you. Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. I don't apologize, actually, because if you want to watch it, you will. And if you don't, you won't. And you know what? I hope that you read the book. If you read the book and you want to talk to me about all of the things that you learned and all of the exciting things that you know because of reading this book, I would love for you to email me. You can go to TiffanyDIRA.com and you can contact me through that, or you can email me at kbella@live.ca, CHE_BELLA@live.ca. Yeah. I wish you the best. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'm going to keep reading, and I'm sure we're going to be doing this again. Ciao.